All right, time for the all-important motherboard decision. We made this decision, and based on a number of things, this is my first AMD build, so that's interesting. And the other thing is, this is my second Asus, actually my third Asus motherboard, yeah. So the last two computers I had Asus motherboards. I had a tough gaming one, and then I have a Code, which was a very nice motherboard for my last build 8 years ago. Anyway, so I like Asus motherboards. I like their fan control software, and this has now a bunch of AI stuff. So I don't know anything about. I know a minimal amount about overclocking AMD processors. It seems like it's not quite as liberal as you can do with Intel, but in any case, I'm just going to use their AI overclocking and not try to get the last millisecond out of it. So, all right, so let's open this up and let's see what's inside. I just want to take a tour of the box here. So it's got a bunch of graphics on the back. It's got some minimal RGB, but it has a very good power regulators, and it's got these two positions for fast M.2 SSD. So I'm going to talk about those once we get it open. So let's open this up, and we'll check out the inside. So these are always a little bit tricky to open. Actually, wasn't too bad. All right, so it's enclosed in static free plastic, which is expected. Let's lift this off. It's very heavy. I noticed that. It must be having to do with the power supplies and big heat sinks. So in here we've got, in the box, we've got just like a bunch of stickers. So these are stickers you can put on. The game to end all games. Interesting. Join the Republic. All right. Yeah, so my last one is a ROG Hillary Gamers Code motherboard, and it was for the Intel. So this is different. All right, so this just talks about where all the fan headers are and the other connectors, USB connectors along the perimeter. That's going to be handy to look at when we're figuring out where to install things. It talks about how to prepare for installing and connecting everything. All right, and it talks about connecting Ethernet in the back. We're not going to be using the Wi-Fi because we have hardwired Ethernet, so I don't really need the Wi-Fi. And let's see. Asus web storage in Spanish. Okay, if you buy 1 terabyte of web storage, you get 200 gigabytes free. Well, we don't need that. We already have a terabyte. Let's see what else is in the box. Okay, here's a bunch of cables. Open these up. Alright, so here's a ROG keychain. And here is a little red rubber bumper thing. I'm not sure what that's for. Tie wraps. Zip ties. I'm going to call them zip ties. A little screw. With a little bracket on it. Some more little rubber bumpers. Maybe it'll be in the manual. These are the SATA cables. That's good. We're going to need 2 of those. So. Some more rubber bumpers. Some brackets. Not sure what those are for either. Here's a thermal pad for M.2. Okay. That's kind of a short one. This is the Wi-Fi antenna, so we're not gonna mess with that. All right, so now we'll look at the motherboard itself, and I'm gonna put out my anti-static mat before I do that. All right, so we got it on the Gamers Nexus Anti-static mat. I'm using my wrist thing. Haven't found the snap connector that goes to this, so I'm just going with this. Let's be careful. I just kind of just touch the edge of the circuit board and not touching like the back of it or something. That seems like a bad idea. So anyway, it looks like a comfortable pad to sit on. Okay, that's new for me. Open this package. So we're gonna have to. It's sitting on a pad. That's actually kind of nice. Let's turn that over so you can see it. So it's sitting on an anti-static pad. That's actually pretty good. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit and we'll take a look at this more closely. All right, well, I'm going to start here. This is where we're going to put the game drive. So it's got a SSD, M.2 SSD here. It even has a heat pipe on it, so it's really designed to. While we go, we're going to strip off some of these plastic covers. But what I understand was this has to share some PCIe lanes with this graphics card slot, which seems like it kind of kind of defeats the purpose. So we're not going to use this one. Again, I'm not sure I completely understand that, but it seems like we don't want to interfere with any PCI lanes coming down here to our graphics card. Now, graphics card I have, it may not make any difference because it's a couple generations old. So, but we are going to upgrade the graphics card at some point. Once the 12-volt connector version 2 comes out, and that problem is solved to my satisfaction anyway. Then I'm not going to upgrade my graphics card. I'll just do what I can with what I have. I have a good graphics card, and it's should be fine for anything I want to do. I'm not a competitive gamer, but I like playing games, and I like them to run fast. And I like using virtual reality headset. So I'll show that later once I get that working. All right, so back to this drive. So this is where we're going to put our G drive. So this is the also very close to the CPU. And for this one, you just lift this up. And it's got a thermal pad on this side and a thermal pad down there. And you, so we'll just install it in there after we pull out the thermal pad stuff. And I'll put this, turn this on and put it in there. So this is, I got a really beefy heat sink. That's one reason why the motherboard's so heavy. It has really beefy heat sinks. Now the C drive, again, we don't want to put it there. Probably, the idea is you put it here. But we're going to put it down here because this is PCI 4. These are both PCI 5 M.2 slots. I think this one might be too, but I'm not sure. But the PCI 4 slots down here that don't interfere with the graphics card. So I'm just going to take this off now. Take a look at it. These are captive screws or not. I'm guessing no, but we'll find out. So this is the heat sink that comes off of here. And let's see if it's got, so it's thermal pads down there. So we're going to leave this one alone. We're not going to use that one for now anyway. So we'll install our C drive over here. Looks like it's the right length. And that'll, like I say, it's twice as fast as what we have now. So it should be a good performance increase. This is the sound card, I think. Supreme FX, yeah. And I don't think we're going to use this other slot. We do have a USB-C card we had to install on the old computer because my HP Vibe 2 headset wouldn't work, or it couldn't get enough power from the USB-C ports on the back of the motherboard, so I had to install a PCI card, which is working fine. So I'll probably, I'm not going to throw it away, so I may as well, I'll probably install it here at some point. You can always use another USB connection. So we're going to put this back on for now because we're not going to install that drive till later. Get it lined up here. It's not lined up, obviously. This one's lined up now. Yeah, so let's get this fine. I'll work on this later. It's not lining up exactly. All right, so we'll come back and look at the back panel. That's the other important thing, the reason why I picked this board. All right, so here's the back panel. This is the reason why I wanted this particular board. So the X870E-E has more ports on the back and they're faster. So, and a lot of the other motherboards I looked at. So this is probably one of the main reasons I picked this board, because I have a lot of connections, a lot of devices connecting to my PC. So could use a hub. I'm already using a hub on some of my monitors to hook up some more things. So I think this has about the same number as the back panel I have now. I'll have to double check. But it's also got, and these are all fast. So 40 gigabytes, 2 40 gigabyte ones. So I have external drives that I use for backup and things like that. So I'll be over time upgrading those to use these 40 gigabyte ones, so for faster backups. And then USB, 10 gigabyte for USB. Everyone else is 10 gigabytes, I think, for the USB. So it's at least 10 everywhere. It's got the BIOS one here. So fast USB to get so things happen better. And then down here is the Wi-Fi, which I'm not going to be using, so I'll just leave those alone. And the sound out. So I have a 2.1 speaker system. So with a subwoofer and a couple speakers. I often use headphones, and I want to use the microphone too. So that's all I really need back here. Some of the other boards had, the standard, or the older PC ones with lots of extra lines in and things like that. I don't really need that. And HDMI. I am going to be using this for my second monitor, I think, using the built-in graphics that comes with the AMD. That just takes some load off of the graphics card to run the second monitor when you're playing a game or whatever else you're doing. So, all right, the last thing I want to talk about this motherboard is I've been reading a lot of forums, and they say as soon as you get your motherboard, upgrade the BIOS. And it turns out there was a new BIOS for this motherboard came out less than a week ago. So I'm 99.9% sure that BIOS is not that version is not on this board. So first thing we're going to do before we install Windows or anything is we're going to boot into the BIOS and upgrade it. So I already put it on. I use my old computer to get a USB stick ready to go. So we're all set for that. Once we get in the computer and it powers on and it looks like it's working, then first thing we'll do is upgrade the BIOS. Then we'll install Windows. All right, so here's the processor for our build. It's an AMD Ryzen Series 9000. And I specifically chose the Ryzen 9000 9900 X3D. I'm using it for productivity mostly, but also gaming. And I found over the years that buying the next level down from the top is saves some money, and it's good enough. I'm not a competitive gamer, so. I bought this soon after it came out, and now it's in short supply. I bought it at list price. Now it's in short supply, so it's got elevated pricing. And of course, when I bought it, the 9950 X3D was sold out immediately, so I couldn't have got it anyway. So it's got Radeon graphics, and nothing's included except the processor. Now, my current processor is an Intel Series 8. So it's got 6 cores and 2012 threads. So we're doubling the number of cores and threads. So that was attractive to me. The 9950 X3D has 16 cores and 32 threads. So, I've never used an AMD processor before, but everything I read, all the reviews said this is better than the latest Intel. It's lower power and better performance, so that sounded good to me. So this is all new for me. And we're going to open this up and see what's inside. All right, so here's the memory I chose. It's a G.SKILL Trident Z5 Neo RGB. I tried finding memory without an RGB because I did it. My last build was RGB, and I said, okay, well, that's kind of fun, but it's not worth paying extra for necessarily. But I had trouble finding non-RGB memory, at least the kind I wanted. This is AMD Expo compatible, so it's got an extra profile. I don't know a lot about that, but from what I could tell, it's going to be a little bit better performance. And let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside. All right, so we'll open this up. I have to ruin the packaging in case I need to return it, which I'm not anticipating. Alright, so it comes in this plastic packaging, really anti-static. There's nothing else in the box. And it's pretty straightforward. Alright, so we're going to put this in our machine. So, this is my current PC has 32 gigabytes of memory, and this is 64. So I have run up against memory limits a few times doing certain things. So I've always found it's better to have about twice as much memory as you think you need. Because again, we're trying to future-proof this computer so it can last another 8 years like the previous one did. So that's it for this memory. It should go in fine, and but performance again is about twice as much as what I have now. This is a DDR5 6000 with timings of CL 30, 40, 40, and 96. So it wasn't the absolute fastest, but I've read 6,000 megahertz memory is all that. Well, for AMD motherboards, that's the sweet spot. So going higher than that, it's not really going to get you a lot of performance. It causes some problems. So again, a lot of this is new for me, but I'm going by what I can learn and do the best I can.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Post a comment if you have any questions or ideas, and I'll try to respond. That's all for now, but more videos are coming, and if you want to see them, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification icon if you don't want to miss one. This is Beta Cygni signing out, and keep looking up.